Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to make my remix or remake on shepherd's pie. Yeah, so this is what we're doing today. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. And follow me on my social media, which is listed above. Also, don't forget to hit that post notification bell because I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, let's get into this video. Okay, so I have been driving around looking for one ingredient that goes in my shepherd pie, which is a Guinness beer. Guys, I'm having the absolute hardest time finding it. The absolute hardest. And it's hot as hell. It rained today. It didn't even do like a heavy rain. It did like a light, flourishing, mistful rain, which one made it hella humid out here. Like I'm sweating cats, dogs, pigs, toes, everything. And it just stopped out of nowhere. So I have went to 4 stores looking for one beer. Not that it's a big problem. I'm not going to add it since I can't find it, and I'm not going to continue driving around, but it does give it a bit of a good taste. But I can finesse the finessing, and it's not like I haven't added it in before. So I'm going to head home, get all this in, and get this packaging, get the food going. I said get this packaging, guys, get this process going, and show you my way of shepherd's pie. Let's get it. Okay, so I'm about to get the shepherd pie started. My main ingredients, sometimes I would do lamb mixed with ground beef, lamb mixed in with bison, ground beef mixed in with bison meat. Those are options. Or you can just do lamb by itself, or you can just do ground beef by itself. It's all up to you. I have ground beef, so we're going to get that going. We're also going to start chopping the onions, and I am going to add, I have some jalapeno from my garden out there. I'm going to chop that up as well, and my onions. I'm going to start cooking the ground beef. The vegetables that I'm picking, I would do fresh, but again, if you're on a budget, and you guys know I love doing budget friendly meals, canned goods work perfectly, literally. So let's get started. So the vegetables of choice that I'm using again is canned carrots, canned sweet corn, and sweet peas. I also have a quarter of onion that I'm going to put in there, and again I have one of my jalapenos. It's like half, but it should be perfect amount. And canned tomato paste. I think I have canned diced tomatoes as well. I don't quite know, but I'm gonna check. If I don't, that's fine. You don't have to do it. You can. It's all up to you and your preference. But yes, for seasonings is upon taste. My liquid seasons that I am using, or liquid things that I'm going to add to the dish, is I got the 100% natural beef broth. Some people do the sodium free. I don't want to do the sodium free because I do want all those flavors. In Worcestershire sauce, absolutely a must. This is more of a must than getting the Guinness beer. The Guinness beer is a give or take. You don't necessarily need it, but this right here, baby, is so needed. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is rinse off my potatoes and peel them. I couldn't think. And peel the potatoes. Once I peel the Okay, once I peel the potatoes, I'm going to rinse them and let them boil in salt water. You want to get that on just because you want to, it takes a process to have those cooked accordingly. I want mine cooked just enough, but not too much, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do that in some salt water and get that going right now. So you really want more potatoes than you think you're going to need because you want it to be thick and kind of like a pie thickness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your topper. So you really need a lot of potatoes. Okay, so now I'm going to take all my canned good vegetables and drain them and rinse them. Put them in this container here because you don't want that canny flavor. All my vegetables, I'm going to put a little plate over it, paper plate, and put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to start chopping up my onions, put that in a little container to put it in the refrigerator, and then we're going to work on the beef. And this is it. You don't really need a lot. It's not like a vegetable stew, but you do want that oniony flavor and you do want that heat. I'm just really mixing it up. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for right now because I don't quite need it right at this moment. I like to put this in there midway when my meat is like 75% done. And then I throw this in there as well. Maybe even 50 to 75% done, so this can get like a nice little saute. At that point, when it's about 80 to 90% done, I do throw in my diced garlic because I don't want the garlic to like saute per se. I want the food to have a garlicky flavor and I want to get that smell. Not to say that I'm not going to add in other seasonings. I do add garlic powder, but with the garlic itself, you want that aroma and that really good, like strong flavor-ish of it to hit. So let's get that going. A little bit of olive oil. Granted, it makes its own oil, but this is just to get us started. You need the food, baby. You need your meat. There we go. I like to use a wooden spoon when I make my beef. Right now, I'm just pushing it down, and I'm going to put the lid over it and basically let it cook. Once that side gets brown, then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to go in and let that cook and break it up. Okay, let's let it cook. So the ground beef is cooked well. I threw the onions in here as well because what I want them to do is get a little bit of a saute going before I throw in my vegetables. And again, not once did I add any seasoning to it, so we don't want to add the seasoning yet because we have a lot of big flavors that we want to kind of like mix in before we start throwing seasoning. Okay, so my favorite part of this is making the potatoes. Look how they came out. Typically when I do my potatoes, I want it to be nice and whipped and smooth. When you do a shepherd pie, you want the potato to be really thick. So you need your butter, you need your milk, and whatever flavor. The flavor that I'm going to do for the potatoes is a halloumi, salt, and garlic. That I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. I usually add more, but I'm adding 1. And it might be like a half a cup and then a quarter of a half. So like it might even be cut because I really want this to be thick. But I am adding 1 full 1 full stick of butter. So I'm going to mush them up now. Get your masher and just start mashing them. Just like so. Once you get all of them mashed, then add your butter in here. It don't have to be all the way squished, but once you get that initial mash, then add your butter. And then go back and continue. Break it, then add it. And just do the same. I don't have my eye on because I really don't want it to cook too much. Oops. There we go. Now I'm going to add a half a cup first of milk. And that's the start. And that's it. From this point on, I'm going to use that same wooden spoon and I'm going to mix it. And while I'm mixing it, I'm going to add my garlic powder. And it's a lot, but that's okay. And salt. And that's it. And let me show you the thickness you want. This is the thickness you want for your crust. I'm not even joking. Like, look at that. That is perfect. I do have my oven on 350 preheating as we speak. Now, typically people add cheese on the top layer. What I'm going to do is let this cool off some more. While this is still simmering, I want this juice to get down to basically like half. And then I'm going to put it in its next pot. And then I'm going to mix the cheese in here. By this time, this would have cooled off. But look at this. That is so perfect. And you can taste it just to see if it's flavorful enough for you. It is not. The garlic is starting to garlic, which is good. But there is not a flavor of a seasoning. That should be about enough. Do it again. I'm using another finger. You just need a hint of a flavor. Okay, cover it. Perfect. You literally want the fork to go through the potatoes. So we're going to drain the potatoes and put them aside. Okay, let's get the garlic. So I am seasoning according to my flavor palette. You guys can do the exact same thing. I'm going to add a half a stick of butter before I add the garlic. Forgot that. You want the fattiness from the butter to basically give us some flavor. Now while that's doing that, now start adding in your garlic. I'm using these. I'm going to do like 2 of them. Again, flavor yourself according to you. I'm going to do it according to me. So, 1 and 2. this point, once the butter starts to really melt down, then you add in your mixed vegetables. Okay, so your butter has melted down. Throw in your mixed vegetables. And then mix well. So I'm going to let this cook for about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to add in my paste. I'm going to add in my flour, because you're making it as a gravy kind of sort of. My Worcestershire sauce, my broth, and then my seasonings. And then I'm going to add, bring it together. So let's give it a few minutes and go from there. Okay. I usually make like a little dividend in the middle, and I put my paste there. Some people don't use a full can, they use about 3 ounces, which is half. I use all of it. I'm going to use all of it. It's all up to your own preference. I'm using all of it. And then you basically want to mix this in. You might have to add a little bit of water to thin out your paste. Just a little bit. Literally a little bit. Now I'm going to add the flour to it because I want the flour to mix it. Perfect. Now let's add your broth. The whole thing. So now we start to get into the flavors. Once you basically mix this all in, because what the flour is going to do is going to give it a thickening mechanism. Once you get it all mixed in, then I want you to start adding your flavors. Meaning your seasonings, your flavors with the flavor palette behind it. Okay. So with the Worcestershire sauce, I add 2 of these of Worcestershire sauce. Believe you me, that's enough. Which is like 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna add my garlic powder, and I season mine accordingly. All my powdery seasonings, season it accordingly. I don't measure it out, I eye it. And I do it on the bigger inside. I say accordingly to you. And then this is my seasoning blend. It's a salty base blend. I'm going to eye it even still, but I'm going to be mindful because the Worcestershire sauce has a saltiness to it already. So I do this lightly and I mix it and let it kind of like mix in, and then I will taste my food thereafter. I'm going to add my herb blend here as well. This herb blend has still a little bit of kick to it. Not as much, but a little. Once I add it and let it simmer, I will let you see what the thickness of your base is. And you're basically going to let it simmer down to where half of this liquid is kind of like drained out. So these are all my herbs. I mean, literally a whole bunch of herbs. I just blended it to more of a powder form and added a little cayenne pepper in it too to give it a little bit of kick. So it's onion powder, garlic powder, parsley, all herbs. I blended it into that kind of form with paprika in it. That's why it has a red base. And I added turmeric in it as well. So I'm mixing this in. And I'm going to taste it first just to see what it's tasting like. All right, let's taste. It definitely needs some seasoning. Again, a little bit goes a long way. There we go. Mix it again. And if I can just taste a hint, then I will stop. Because I'm going to make a garlicky cheese potato for the topping. and I don't want too much salt. One ingredient I do add in here, which is a little bit of sugar, because it has such the acidity, and you need that balance. The sugar is going to really make a big difference. A little bit more, just a little bit more. And then in this part, I'm going to add the sugar on top. And it's about a tablespoon of sugar. It's not coming out. There we go, that's it. Get another taste. I am not dipping it because I've been licking my spoon, but I'm using this. And that taste. That's it. Got it on low, and then we're gonna work on the mashed potatoes. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It's almost there. I'm gonna give it about another 5-10 minutes before I can start putting it together. So you see that? You see how the sauce has reduced? We want it to reduce a little bit more, and it's going to get sticky at the bottom, which is okay. You want that, but it's almost there. It's almost there. But this is what you want your stuff to look like. Almost. Okay, and that's that. And then let me show you what the potatoes are looking like in the way it looks, basically. Let's put that back on here. Now the potatoes. You see that, guys? That is a perfect looking topping for your shepherd's pie. That is what you want it to look like. So be back in 10. Get the scoop. I'm just smoothing this out. I'm going to mix the cheese in the mashed potatoes. I have to feel that because I'm doing this. Let me put So let's get the mixing the mashed potatoes and the cheese together. For my cheese, I'm going a mild cheddar cheese in here. The color is going to be really good. Mild cheese have a really good flavor in it with it. And since I did season the mashed potatoes enough, but not too much, this is going to be perfect. It's not going to clash anything. I can't get this big open. So let's mix. Pour it all in it and mix. Now I don't want it to mix to where it starts to get stringy. I just want it to mix in. So you see, you want it to be like that. Okay. Now you're going to put it on top of your meat. Like so. Now it's thick, which is fine. Typically, people like their mashed potatoes to be a little bit more looser. I don't. I want the thickness. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm okay with the thickness. There we go. Everybody's different. Again, everybody makes their shepherd pie totally different, and it's okay. The reason I like mine a little bit more thicker because I can kind of smooth it out. I like mine to be kind of like a cake batter-ish thick. The crust is going to crust up so well. So that's why I do mine this way. Alright, let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like right here. I'm going to keep it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to put it in the broil for about 2 to 4 minutes until it gets like a nice brown crust. I'm going to put the foil back on it and put it in the oven for about 15 minutes, check on it, and then put it in there another 5 minutes, and then again take this foil off, put it in the broil 2 to 4 minutes, and it's done. Okay, so I let it cool off for about 30-40 minutes, and let me show you what it's looking like. And this is what you want to do. Look at that, guys. Now we already eaten into it, just to show you. And I'll take a spoon again just to give you a true consistency of it. Look at that, guys. You cannot tell me. And then you got the mashed potatoes with the sauce, the meat, that it does not look freaking yummy. Let me take this bite with you, and then we're going to end the vlog. Okay, so cheers again. You can't tell me that's not beautiful. That is literally so fucking good. Anyway, guys, love you all. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Don't forget to follow me in my social media linked above, and don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you don't miss a video that I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Good night. Bye.